Half and welcome back to the channel. My name is Tokes, and this is Football Fan Tribe. It's back. If you watch the WWE, you should know Eric Bischoff, and you should know that his legendary entrance song, "I'm back." The Super League, the European Super League, is officially back, as many of us expected. But yeah, it took a while, but then it's finally back. So welcome back to the channel. I'll be discussing three things about the returning Super League. First of all, the new format, the new proposed format. Secondly, we'll talk about the teams affected or who will be affected by the return of the Super League. And then finally, I will give you my own thoughts on the matter. So just like the video. Also, don't forget to drop a comment before leaving, and let's get straight into it. The European Court of Justice have officially given the green light to the Super League to go ahead without any form of sanctions in their appeal after getting sanctioned by UEFA and FIFA earlier on when the league emerged. So a lot of things were wrong with the original format and everything, and basically they took the matter to court after a lot of the clubs that were supposed to be involved in the Super League got sanctioned. So the matter don't drag for over this period, and now we are here. So they've given a judgment that UEFA and FIFA do not have any right to sanction clubs in the Super League to participate in alternative competitions. Now the matter it don't stop, and FIFA have reacted by saying that they don't see the judgment. So they've basically seen the judgment, and now they are going to discuss the matter internally and take next steps. Keyword: next steps, after discussing with UEFA and the governing body and the member associations of FIFA. So that's one. That's what happened, and that's what has brought us here again, and that is what has brought the return of the Super League. So after all the complaints about the earlier version of the Super League that was proposed, there was no relegation or whatever. It was basically the biggest clubs in Europe playing against each other all the time and making a hell of a lot of money. Big ego 1-1B. Basically, football power goes from FIFA to UEFA, and then the member bodies of UEFA, which are the country FAs, and then finally to the clubs. Do you get? But now the clubs, they won't become the FIFA. So the clubs want to jump every other person and deal with broadcasters and sponsors and every other thing by themselves. Do you understand? Arrange a competition by themselves, play all over the world, and make a lot of money from it. So the new Super League format goes like this. So it's basically 64 teams, and these 64 teams will be divided into 3 tiers. Now, the blue, the gold, and then the star. The star is the top tier now. That are the highest tier. So now the blue, the gold, and the star. The members of the blue obviously will be like the lowest ranked teams based on sporting merit as at that time when the league is formed, and then there will be 32 teams in that blue level, and then 16 teams in the gold level and the star level. Enugu. Now, 20 of the 32 teams will be eliminated altogether after the end of the league, and then new teams will come in, and so on and so forth. And then inside now the gold and the star level, there will be 16 teams, right? So these 16 teams will be divided into 2 with 8 teams each. Instead of these 16 teams to play everybody home and away 15 games, that's 30 matches for a season, they will divide it into 2 different groups inside those 2 leagues, the gold and the star league, right? So 8 teams, that is, they'll just basically split both those leagues in half, the gold and the star league. Now when they split it in half, 8 teams, that means every team will play the other 7 teams in that league that they are drawn against, home and away. That's a guaranteed 14 matches. So let's focus on the star level now, which is the highest level. For the teams in the star level, you divide it into 2, that's 8, and then each team will play 7 other teams home and away all over the world. So if you play West Ham away this evening now, and then you have Real Madrid in the Super League in Melbourne, Australia, midweek that week, you get. So you go basically choke. You go choke well. Basically, what will happen in the divisions of the star level and the gold level is that when the 8 teams are done playing themselves home and away, now the best teams in each half will now go into a knockout tournament to determine the winner of that league and the Super League. So it's pretty simple. 3 tiers, 32 teams, 16 teams, and then 16 teams, divide them into two each, 8 teams in each half, and then each team plays 7 matches home and away. After the home and away games, the teams that finish best in each half will come against each other in the knockout tournament, and then in that knockout tournament, it determines the winner of the league. Pretty simple, right? So that's basically 14 guaranteed matches, and then the teams that qualify to the next round will now play a bit more matches. So they've also proposed that, like I said, the earlier Super League, there was no relegation, there was no promotion, but this time there will definitely be. And they also proposed that all the games will be free to air. That means you don't need to subscribe to anything, but I guess that will be something that they will do in their own personal streaming platform that I guess they will definitely develop, or maybe attach with somebody else and then do the streaming for free, possibly then get their revenue through ads in those streaming and all that. So, and the monies are going to these clubs directly. Like we said, the Barcelona never left, Real Madrid never left, and here we are now. So, as we speak, as at the point of recording this video, Manchester United have also released a statement that they won't be participating in the Super League and they are focusing on the country league. But we are here again, and they definitely moving on to the teams and who it affects. Now, if you look at the format of this, right, it's basically the biggest teams getting richer, the richest teams getting richer, and then the Brightons and all those other teams below them will have to struggle for what they have. And then if you're playing all those competitions and then you don't leave the Champions League, basically these teams will need to have 2 different squads. You get one Super League squad and then one squad for the rest of the competitions, or basically one squad for Super League, Champions League, and then they will go and get another squad for the La League and every other domestic competition. So, I mean, they will definitely have the money to do so. I'm also hearing that Barcelona and Real Madrid, being the founding members of the Super League, they will be getting 1 billion euros up front. So that's a lot of investment. And based on where Barcelona are right now, they definitely need the money. Now, moving on to the second part of who I think would also be affected by this, but very, very positively. The Premier League, I've said it before, now basically the Super League. The Premier League is basically the Super League with the amount of money that even the clubs that get relegated from the Premier League make. So clubs that get relegated from the Premier League make almost more than people winning leagues in Germany and elsewhere because of the broadcasting rights and all that. And inside those broadcasting rights, the FA still takes their share. So imagine if all those revenues coming directly to the clubs, do you get? It will be rich getting richer. And now, La Liga are not getting that kind of money. Germany is not getting that kind of money. The Serie A is not getting that kind of money. France is not getting that kind of money. France were even struggling to sell their broadcasting rights for next season. They had, after setting their price, nobody offered. They had to recall everybody and say, okay, we've reduced this. Who's willing to buy this rights now? So it don't choke everybody. And then I just feel jealousy follow, you get, because all those other country leagues, then they're jealous of waiting the Premier League clubs they make, and they want to make as much. They want to be making as much money as what the Premier League clubs are making, and even more. Because now, according to what they said, football is free, and also that the clubs, the UEFA monopoly is now over. So yeah, they are coming for it. Also, I think falling back to UEFA now, it will definitely be affected, because which way does it go now? Do the clubs move on and say, okay, we are not participating in the Champions League again, we'll be doing the Super League so that we won't have 100 games a season? But then it's quite tricky, because now it all boils down to the individual clubs and where this goes from here now, because you know that there will be no punishment if you play in that competition. There's a whole lot money to be made, and then brand wise too, your clubs will be playing all over the world against the biggest team regularly. And then back to FIFA now. This and UEFA, these are two bodies that went ahead to create the UEFA Nations League tournament from nowhere for the purpose of, quote and unquote, reducing the number of irrelevant friendlies. But we all know that they did it to make more money and to broadcast more games. But now where we there now? And are they holy? Are they holy enough to be saying that the Super League doesn't have good intentions? Are they the ones that should be telling us, when we know players are even complaining that they are playing too many games and you're bringing more that are irrelevant, starting competitions out of nowhere, the UEFA Conference League and all that? Is it necessary? And that's for you to let me know in the comment section, Sha. But here we are. So, you know the format. I've basically run by who it affects as at this point, and then updates also on the club statements and all that. But now on to my own opinion on the matter. It's very, very iffy. It's very, very iffy to stand anywhere, because if you're a football fan, you would want to you would want your club to stick to the original and then just keep football the way it is, but they want to globalize the spending power and the earning power, the revenue power of football, and get everything up to a whole other level. La Liga teams, French Ligue 1 teams, Bundesliga teams, Italian Serie A teams, and teams from all over Europe basically want to bring Premier League teams with the biggest fan bases all over the world and then share benefits. You understand? I believe they'll be benefiting more because imagine a Super League without any Premier League club. Who go watch? Who go watch up? But at the end of the day, they need the Premier League clubs to be involved, and everything hinges on that too. Man United don't say that, concern them. Let's see what the rest of the Premier League clubs will say. By the time you're watching this, we'll probably have more details. We'll also be discussing this in the live show. But as for me and where I stand, I don't know what to think, because when I want to support football for the fans and all that, now you now think of the fans that are paying to watch games in England and then buying season tickets and all that, and you have your team playing against Real Madrid, possibly maybe for the first time in 10-12 years. Arsenal have not played against Real Madrid since 2006, I believe, and then in official competition, and then when that match actually happens now, it's not happening in Tokyo, Japan. And then you, that's a paying fan and the season ticket holder, go if you watch it live. But then at the end of the day too, if you're standing by UEFA and FIFA, are they holy? Do they have a right to be telling football what kind of morals and what kind of lessons it should have and should grow? Because in their statement, they were saying things like, we stay with the morals, we stay with the culture and the blood of football, blah, 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 by keeping competition going and remembering the fans and all that rubbish that they normally say. But in the end, let me know, what do you think in the comment section? Is this a good move? Would you want your club to participate in it? Do you think the Super League can go ahead without English clubs? Lots of questions have to be asked, man. Many things choke, but here we are again. It's definitely a part of the discussion now, and a worry. So let me know. Don't forget to like this video before leaving, and thank you so much for watching. Thanks for watching. Right here, another one of our videos where you're supposed to like, and all our social media links. I mean, follow us on every platform because we get content for everybody.